Right, Volk versus Ilia is up next on UFC 298. The first of 3 delicious cards we have coming up. Is Scrappy Doo getting a little bit too old? And will the Matador get him out the door? Or is Ilia overconfident and heading for a very big wake-up call? When you look at the featherweight rankings and take off the names that Volk has already beaten, it's clear that Ilia Topuria is by far the biggest threat that Volk currently has. As I went over in a previous video, the dude's no joke. 14-0, only one of those wins wasn't a finish. He's got great striking, great defence, solid wrestling and jiu-jitsu. And he's nearly a decade younger than Volk, which is mental. And he's made it abundantly clear he's coming to win. The fact that on his bio he's already put that he's the champ seems a little much. Can't help but feel like he may be setting himself up for a royal humbling. But the geezer obviously knows how to pump himself up, and we have to assume that he performs well under that kind of self-imposed pressure. In interviews, he's made it clear he plans to take Volk out early, and he seems dismissive of the threat that Volk poses. But he can't be that stupid. It's clearly bravado, he's having fun, a bit of trash talk to build up the fight. Good for him. Look, is Volk going to get on any of the big rides at Disney World? No. But in that cage, Volkanovski is something else. With his recent loss to Islam, it's easy for fans to forget. But taking out Chad Mendes and Jose Aldo and Max Holloway 3 times is some high-level shit. The grit that he showed when he was put under severe submission threat against Ortega was unbelievable. He made the Korean Zombie look like a prelim fighter, and he absolutely owned Yair Rodriguez. The first Makhachev fight was one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. I still think he won, and I'm heartbroken by the fact he threw away a fair second shot. But here we are. We all know that Volk's skill level is about as high as it gets. Is Ilia as good as he's recently looked? He's never faced an opponent on this level. Interestingly, both fighters have a background in Greco-Roman wrestling, although I imagine this fight will take place almost entirely on the feet, and both have crisp striking. It's guaranteed to be a highly entertaining and highly technical fight. With the disrespect thrown from Ilia, there's a welcomed little touch of beef thrown into the mix too. There's no doubt that Ilia is a dangerous fight for Volk. Young, hungry, skillful and aggressive. But this isn't about Ilia. This fight comes down to 2 factors. Is age catching up with Volk? I don't believe it is. I know there's been a lot made of all the statistics about title fights at certain ages, but Volk isn't a statistic. He's an extraordinary fighter. And he's shown no signs to me of slowing down at all. The second factor is how affected he is from the Islam loss and how well he can bounce back. And I don't think there's any bouncing back to do. That was an extremely last-minute fight against the champion of the weight class above, who's likely will end up being one of the all-time greats of that weight class. That loss means nothing. As good as Ilia is, and as much of a threat that he is, I think Volk is going to show Ilia that he's still got some work to do, and that there are levels, and he's not quite on Volk's level yet. I am almost certain that Ilia Topuria will be the featherweight champion, just not yet. I'm going Volk by late TKO decision. I can't wait. Anyway, if you like this video, give us a sub, check out this playlist of recent bangers, and I'll see you next time.